Hey everyone, Soundwave884 here, the Transformers Studio Series 86 review. In this review, take a look at Transformers the movie Blurr. This is Blurr from the G1 movie. Here you can see his box art. It's very nice art indeed. You see where it says Transformers movie Studio Series 8603. Turn around the side, you get a little more close up on the face. Numbers once again, turn to the back. 18 steps get you all the way around for Blurr. This is Blurr from the Battle of Autobot City. Blurr defends Autobot City until reinforcements arrive. Turn to the side, more of the box art and the nice little 86 thing up top. The insert inside is Autobot City Under Siege. Let's take a look at the figure. Alright, so this is Blurr based off Transformers the movie, or the Transformers the movie from 1986. It's a nice Blurr. I think they did a nice job in trying to nail the animation model. What stands out to me, which is glaring, is up here on these little I don't know what you would call them. It's missing the dark blue trim at the very top. I don't know why it's missing. So we're going to do a quick shot here comparing this with most of his animation model here. You see they nailed it pretty good. You say, hey, the face is a little long. You know, why the long face? He's got that long chin. Well, he does have that in his animation model as well. I think the toy might have exaggerated that a little bit too much. Maybe shrink that up, and I think the figure would be looking about perfect. Comparison here between the Studio Series Blurr and Takara Transformer Legends Blurr. This was my Blurr until this Blurr arrived. And if you have this Blurr, it's an excellent Blurr. You might not even feel the need to buy this one. Now, if you want something that's more G1 accurate and scratches more of that G1 itch, this is your Blurr you need to go for. But if you just want something that just resembles a good G1 Blurr, either one will do. Either one will suffice. You might get a little bit more articulation out of the Studio Series than the Takara Transformer Legends version. I know the head sculpt is sort of is not great. I prefer it over this one because that face just doesn't say Blurr to me, whereas this one does. Oh yeah, he's got this thing here. I gotta raise that up. There we go. Oh, as you can see that here, they actually got the blue trim at the top, with something they did not do in the Studio Series, and it just kind of bugs me a little bit. I don't know why it bugs me so much. I'm not really complaining about it. It's just something I noticed, and it slightly bugs me, but this one is still an excellent Blurr. Next to Wavemate Deluxe Cup. Next to Voyager Class Studio Series Hot Rod. Is a deluxe figure with this extra added accessories. They look good together. And next to Wheelie, who they sort of partnered up in the Five Faces of Darkness, so I'm going to kind of pair them together here a little bit. They're both annoying characters, so why not? This is Legend Scale Wheelie. I can't remember if it's Titan Returns or Power of the Primes. Alright, so let's dive in a little bit deeper into the details of the figure. Head sculpt. I'm going to say it's not bad. It's better in person than a lot of things are. Maybe it's his just a bit too pinched at the mouth area. And then, of course, the chin is so long. He should be hosting a late-night talk show. You know, maybe that's the look, and having a nice car collection in his garage or something. Come down here to the legs, like the blues. Got this light sky blue or pale sky blue, darker and deeper blues here. I like the bright white. The bright white on Blurr I always like because it's a good contrast with the blues on the figure. He's got yellow here. Now I mentioned the blue trim missing here. He's got the yellow there. He should have some yellow up in this little horn piece as well. Come down to his wrist. His hands. Yeah, they're bright white, and they are connected with these pieces back here. It does have a swivel, as you can see, it's mushroom peg, but let you know, you're only going to really swivel it one way. You can really only go out this way, because if you start swiveling the other way, there's resistance because of how this is molded, and you probably are going to pop out the hand and stuff. I like the white painted plastic underneath is clear translucent plastic. Like I said, the whites really make it pop, and he does have light piped eyes, so it gives him a dead look unless you get some light behind him. And Cup has that as well, but Cup only has a thin piece back here to get the light source through. The entire backside of Blurr's head is for the light piping, so we can show that off real quick. Some light piped eyes. I mean, they do pretty good. Better than Cups, but not up to snuff with some other figures like Kingdom Cyclonus and stuff like that. Move on to the back of the figure. Everything cleans up pretty well. I mean, everything is really nothing. This really hides a lot of what would be hollow. You just have a little bit of hollowness on the inner thigh and a little bit here on the arms, or I guess a lot on the arms. You're not really going to notice a lot of that anyway. Most of that hollow stuff doesn't really bother me at all. Now let's go over some articulation real quick on Blurr. You get knee bends to there. It flattens all the way out to his legs. You got the swivels are the entire leg, I'm guessing here. Yeah. The whole thing is one big piece of swivels on that mushroom paper. You get a nice swivel. Out there, so you can do a full splits. Front to there. Back, you keep working it. And you get it to there. Ankle tilts to there. So you got some ankle tilts going on. Shoulders go out to there. 360. Yes, there you got soft ratchets. If you can hear that. And so you can go out to there. Got the elbow swivel. Elbow bend to there. Now I already showed you what you're getting out of the wrist swivels. You can 360 his waist all the way around. You just got to kind of move the little front out a little bit to get that. Head, got a slight up. That's just because of the joint. 360 that all around. It's like his whole head is translucent plastic, and this is just painted on top, and this piece here might be glued on for the front of the face. And of course, you got the little horn piece here, so you can feel like it moves when I touch it. Yeah, so this right here is actually just like put on top. So yeah, just be aware of that coming off. Mine's a little loose. I don't really like that. So that's kind of a piece I don't like, a negative, I guess you could say, on this figure. Alright, so accessories. Blurr comes with this gun, which is based on the gun that he had in the 86 movie. Let's move Blurr out of the way so you actually can see it. And of course, all you do here with the gun is find a hand and just pegs right in. And then I guess when they're trying to repair the ship and stuff, he's got his little welding torch. There is a peg inside of it. Either hand will do. It's probably a piece that would transform out of his his wrist, or the hand would retract and that would come out or something. You know, a lot of them did that in the first couple episodes of the actual Transformers cartoon. Alright, so here comes the hard part. Let's transform Blurr. What you're going to do is you're going to bring this down, open this little panel up here. It's going to come up and over the hand. So open that little panel. Bring that down over the hand like so. Bring his arms up like this. And then you're going to rotate them at that little wrist swivel. So you want to find which way it will actually rotate freely. Just bring that around. Make sure you don't turn the entire arm at the bicep or elbow swivel. And then just close that down. So it'll be on the outside like this. Like I said, you can end up popping that mushroom peg out of the hand. So just be careful of that. Close that down. Come here, you're going to take the arms. They will come out of that. It's a scary peg because it pegs in there very well. So come back here to the back, grab this backpack. This piece here just goes right inside there. So you pull that out. And it's going to go up and over his head like this. You see these little slight little pieces of jutting. It will just kind of rest in these little grooves here on the side. Little front chest plate here will now spin around like this, and this little tab piece here is going to lock underneath that. Oops, well, keep it underneath that. And we're going to come down here and we're going to work on the legs. It's very much like the Combiner Wars. You're just going to open this up, pull this piece down and around. The thing I did notice is in the Takara Transformer Legends, this piece feels really sturdy and like it's really in there. This feels kind of loose and floppy. Like the plastic here is not as good as the plastic from the other one. Take the foot here, you're going to fold it this way. Then come to the other leg, same thing, just open this up. And then straighten this foot out like that. And now you're going to work on taking the legs, you're going to spin them up and over like this. Make sure you get the foot around his arms. You can see where these little tabs are, and they're going to go inside. This peg here is going here. This tab here is going inside of that. So let's just line all that up. And it's probably like the hardest part, because these tabs are, they take a little bit to get in. At least I did the first time. Maybe easier. Yeah, a little bit easier the second time here. Then you're going to, well, you got the feet out. You're going to take, when you pull these arms out, this little light blue piece here is now going to rotate inward. So we want to clear the rotation there. And we're going to untab that from the chest. Like that. And we're just going to fold it to the back. So that, fold it to the back. And when you do that, you're going to notice there's slots here. So when you close these feet around, there's these tabs on the feet. They're going to just tab into that. So and these little pieces here are going to tab into this little gap there. So we're going to line all that up. And we're just going to tab those in. And we're going to tab these in up here. And it holds very well. Then you're going to take the arms. They're going to hinge backward. You see tab, tab, tab. And it's all going to go inside the arms here. So let's bring this back. And you're just going to tab those in. And then find the one in the front. And you're going to tab that in like that. Same on the other side. Just tab all that stuff in. There we go. There's a piece in here that you open up to form the seat. I don't really have nails. I'm trying to get that to, it's very loose. Once you actually knock it from its lock position there, you're easily going to push it back close. And it just opens up and forms like a seat for someone to sit in. And you have now transformed Blurr into his vehicular or his hover car mode. Blurr in his hover car mode, his hover car race car mode. It's very nice. I do like the bright white paint that's on the plastic down here. Underneath this translucent windshield. I think the white just really pops and stands out against the blues of Blurr. Otherwise, it is very, very movie accurate, I guess, in the detailing here of the blues and the waves. And he's got nice curves. I'm always a sucker for curves going right here. It is a very nice mode indeed. Turn to the back, take a look at the back. And it's pretty good. He's got his Autobot symbol from the chest part in robot mode. Of course, it just spins around and it stays here in his vehicular mode. I believe the G1 toy, of course, had it down here on like the piece that would become the shield. Now, out of getting him to vehicle mode, I would say Blurr probably has the most complex or difficult transformation between Cup, Blurr, and Jazz out of the deluxes from Studio Series 86. And it's not hard. It's just trying to get everything. He's got more things that seem to want to fold out and fold up. He's on hinges. He just seems to go a little more, complex with his transformation. Also, getting these things to tab in are a little bit of a pain in the back here. Also, he's got different shades of blue. Of course, you know that because the blue here and the darker blue. Then he's got the painted blue, which shows up slightly different from the baby blues or the sky blues here. Then he has this blue here in the middle, which is like a different shade altogether from the rest of the vehicle. It stands out a little bit more on the camera than it does in person, just like Sunstreaker from Earthrise. But it is noticeable, so that is one thing I guess you can look out for when you look at the figure. And he's got a seat here. Really no way to put a character in there because there's no place, there's no leg room. So there's really no one you can really sit there unless you just fold them up like an accordion or something. Otherwise, it's not a bad alt mode. Other things you can do with this is you take his gun. And they can store down here. There's this tab here, and you see on either side these little slots. So you can go either side, and just put that right there. Then you take his little like welding torch, and these two tabs right here go in these two slots right around it, and that piece faces towards him like that. And that tab's all underneath his vehicle mode, so you can have. Sorry, dropped him. So you can have a weapon here, so he can blast Decepticons as he is. Racing around. I'm probably not going to do that, and he's probably going to be in robot mode 99% of the time anyway. Alright, so comparison with the Takara Transformer Legends Blurr. which was based off the Titans Returns mold of Blurr. And Takara did it right, whereas Hasbro went for the toy accuracy. Takara went for the more toon accuracy. You can see that the blue here is a more of a brighter sky blue, as opposed to more of a pale sky blue here. But the other dark blue is pretty similar to the dark blues on this Blurr. Each, transform into an excellent representation, I think, of Blurr. So if you have this version of Blurr, it's not a bad version at all. You might not even feel the need to want to even buy this one. But this one here is very close. It's Studio Series. It is very close to how he appeared in the movie. And I think just my nostalgia for this really kicks in over this one. So I'm probably going to choose this Blurr here, the Studio Series 86, over this Blurr, just based on how he looks more G1 than this one. But this is still a good Blurr. Like I said, you can't go wrong really with either one. Now the advantage from the Takara version here, it has wheels, so you can roll it. This one does not, so it just kind of sits and plops down. Now if he is technically a hover car, you don't need wheels, but the wheels add a playability to the toy for kids or even adults alike, adult kids. That way you can pretend he's hovering, but you're really just rolling him around. And here he is next to the Thrilling 30 RC. I'm not transforming the Earthrise RC again. I just really don't like doing it. So this is going to be my alt mode anyway for my RC. And next to Legends Class Wheelie, I can't remember if this is Titan Returns or Power of the Primes. But you can see how they scale there. They did hang out a lot in the Five Faces of Darkness, 5-parter premiere of Season 3. So I'm kind of going to lump these two lame asses together for this review here, because I might put them next to each other on the shelf too. Alright, so final thoughts. I recommend picking up this Blurr if you don't have a Blurr at all. If you have the Titans Returns Blurr and you want something that's more like cartoon or accurate for Blurr, and you don't have a way to get the Transformer Legends, I say get this guy, because it would be cheaper to buy this one and then buying the Transformer Takara Legends version. So this Blurr, it's a nice Blurr. I like it a lot. You really can't go wrong with this one or the Transformers Legends version from Takara. Both are nice representations of Blurr. This one is just a little bit more G1 accurate, so I like that one because I lean that way. So I would definitely recommend getting this Blurr. I want to say thanks for watching. Until the next ones. Peace out.